Okay, so I'm back doing another one of these. I keep sort of trying to find reasons not to do one of these videos. I don't know why. It's like, this is the only way I can sort of air my problems out, but I also hate airing my problems out. I just feel like I'm attention seeking, for want of a better word. And so I generally just tend to suffer in silence, but I sort of think something's got to give, so that's why I'm here doing this. But 2026 hasn't been off to a great start. Well, we're in late January now, and well, this has been a pretty shitty month. I mean, not even just for me, just for the world, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't personally feel rough. I don't really know where I should start. Well, I know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but me and my dad have a sort of rough relationship. He was quite distant when I was younger, and then he married someone who I don't think I can ever see again, because I just think I would have a panic attack, a crippling panic attack. And so I don't really want to do that. And so that means that I can barely ever see him. And because he was distant, we're basically estranged. But all I've ever wanted was to have a relationship with him. It really makes me jealous when my friends specifically, they talk about how their dads are not only extremely present in their lives, but share the same sort of hobbies. And I just sort of think, damn. You know, when one of my friends talks about how, you know, he talks about the exact same sort of things with his dad that he likes to do. And I just sort of think, I know you were just telling me a story about your dad, and I can't really just say, stop, I'm getting too jealous, but I really am jealous of it. All I've wanted is to have like a prominent father figure in my life. And I mean, he's definitely better than he was, say, 10 years ago. But due to faults that are kind of outside of both of our control, he can't really do much. Unfortunately, when I was about 13, he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Because of his living situation, he couldn't really sort it out, if you will. He couldn't really take care of it, keep on top of it, whatever. And so it's really caught up to him in the past, say, 3 or 4 years, more so recently. He had to have surgery on his leg. He was on dialysis for a pretty big amount of time. And his eyes have been slowly deteriorating to the point where he is basically blind, like he will never see properly again. Which sucks, because in the case I ever do get better and sort my life out, he'll never be able to see that. And then recently he's just been, well, I say recently, I got a message today telling me that he's been readmitted to hospital. His kidneys are basically giving out. and according to the doctors, he's had a mild heart attack as well. I mean, yes, it's only mild, it's not as bad as some other people have it, but when you think that this has all been deteriorating in the past year, I can't see him living another one. And that just makes me really, I don't really know, sad. Can't really think of a better word for it, but I don't really, to be fair, I don't even really know if it is sad. I mean, maybe it is, I don't really know how to express sad. I just sort of, well, I think with me, my main way of releasing energy and showing emotion, unfortunately, is anger. I try not to, but sometimes I can't help but get angry. It's the only release I know. So I get arsey with people, and I hate doing that. I smash my stuff, just because I can't sort of process the fact that it's sort of sadness I'm feeling, but I don't really know how to feel it. The only anger, or the only emotion I really know how to feel is anger, because I was a very, very angry child. And it just, well, I mean, it's getting to me a bit. I mean, I know some people might think, well, you know, if you're estranged, then you shouldn't, why do you care so much? And I think I mainly care because, well, like I said, all I've ever wanted was a relationship with my dad. You know, one of my best memories of all time. Like, I can't remember much of my childhood, but I can remember vividly going on holiday in one of a family friend's, like, decently sized caravan. I loved it. It was sunny, the sun was setting, and we were just running around this caravan. He was trying to chase me, and I remember laughing and just having the biggest smile on my face, and I think that was the closest I ever really came to him. Just that pure, unbridled joy. And I've been chasing that high for the best part of 20 years. Because I think it was when I was, 4? Maybe 5, but I think 4. Possibly 3, I don't even know, it was that long ago. And I hate playing that memory over in my head, because it's a really good memory. But I know every time I play it over in my head, the more distorted it becomes. And it's going to get to a point where I don't remember that as vividly anymore. But there's nothing I can do about that. And now that I know I mean, even in recent years, I've been trying my hardest to sort of build something with him. You know, try and make a true father-son bond. But every time I go to try, something just like this happens, where I can't. I mean, I unfortunately can't drive. I can't afford driving lessons. And so I'm reliant on people to sort of taxi me about, which I hate asking for, because it just makes me feel like a charity case. And then, well, he can't drive because he's blind, and the only person that can drive him all the time is the person I never want to see again. And so it's like this paradox. No matter what we try, it's like it's destined to fail. And that feeling sucks, but despite that, I've kept trying. That's all I can do. And so that's what I've well, that's what I've done. But it just all feels so futile, and now more than ever, I'm getting that feeling of time is running out. If anything, I can't stop the feeling that time has already run out. No matter what we do, we can't do anything. He's only going to get more and more sick at this rate. I mean, every time he messages me and says, yeah, you know, something's not been too great, I've done this, or this has happened, he always ends it with, hopefully now that I'm here, they'll be able to find out what's wrong with me, but they never do. They never ever do. And then, I don't know, a month or two later, I'll get another message saying, oh yeah, this has happened again. Maybe they'll find out what's wrong with me this time. And it's a never-ending cycle, and I believe it every time. I always believe it. And I feel so naive for believing it. But this is just, it sounds so stupid just thinking it, but it's like child me is still in there, just craving. He's crying out for it to be real, for it to be true. And then obviously when it isn't, he gets disappointed, just like he did way back when. It's like the same sort of pain you experience as a child when you're told, yeah, I'll do that with you, and then they never do. It's like I'm experiencing that again all over, and that's the one thing I sort of am trying to get away from. I'm trying to better myself and heal from things I experienced as a child. But everywhere I look, it's like I'm being thrust back into that mindset again. It's just, I don't know what I've done to deserve that sort of mental turmoil, but it feels so coincidental that as soon as I try and start bettering myself, the one thing that I'm bettering myself from just sort of rises up again. Like it's when I was younger, and I don't hate him for this. I feel like I did for a while, but I now sort of, I can understand why he would always, like, every time I would go to him about the woman he's married to with a problem or something like that, he would always think that I'm playing childish games, and so would sort of go the nuclear option and say, oh well, if you haven't got time for me, I haven't got time for you. And he did that multiple times, and so I would always back down, because, you know, all I wanted was a relationship with my dad, and I didn't want to lose that, even if it meant putting myself in harm's way. And in recent years, I can tell that he feels very bad about that, and he's tried to make effort where he can, but it's obviously easier said than done. And especially now, when every time we say, oh, you know, we'll have to get out and go and see a film at some point, even if you can't really see, or, I don't know, go out and get a drink or whatever, and just catch up, we never can. Everything we try and do is just, it's instantly just, the world's like, no, can't do that. What are you trying to do? Build a relationship with your father? Pfft, get out of here. You're not doing that. And so I think I just feel lost at the moment. The one thing I've ever wanted more than anything in my life wasn't money, wasn't fame, it was just to have a dad that was there all the time. One that I could share my hobbies with, laugh with all the time. And I can't. And I just get this awful feeling that is quickly slipping through my fingers. And it's not like I can just go, you know what, I'll go out and message him now and say, do you want to do something? Because I can't. There is nothing I can do to fix it. There is nothing I can do currently. I just feel so helpless. There is nothing I can do to change the situation that is being presented to me. And that, well, that hurts. Because obviously, well, it just means that everything I'm trying is just futile. And I can't face that. I know I'm gonna have to at some point. But at this moment in time, I can't bring myself to face it. It's, you know, it's a hard feeling to describe. You know, sort of when you're trying to do something and you can feel it's really close, but it's also still so really far off. It's like that, but I know I'll never get it. And so I feel just stupid that I'm trying to push for something that seems just so impossible. And I know that makes me sound really naive, like, why are you continuing to do this if you know that it's not really going to work? And my answer to that is I have no idea. I feel so dumb. I feel so stupid that I'm pining for something that only a child would really care about. And yet it's all I want. And that must make me sound like the most pathetic bastard on planet Earth. But, I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about that. Well, it is what it is, unfortunately. And as much as I would like to say otherwise, I don't think that's how it works. You know, I feel so helpless. But, well, it is what it is. That's all I really wanted to talk about. So yeah. See ya.